In the quiet town of Azuri, that nestled amidst steep hills and clear streams, there lived a young lady named Maya. She was born into a conservative community where traditions and beliefs were upheld with utmost reverence. Teachings like living an upright life was the golden rule, and daily prayers to the Creator were their lifeline. Maya and her siblings were taught never to hurt others, believing that if they held on to goodness, everything will magically fall in place. They were also taught marriage was more than just a union. It was a sacred bond. Once you stepped in as a woman, there was no turning back. Whether it was sunshine or storms, the women were expected to stand by their spouse, embracing the journey for better or for worse. Growing up, Maya watched as couples in her community upheld these values, standing steadfast by each other's side through thick and thin. Maya had always dreamt of finding true love, having a proper wedding, and raising children who will bring her endless joy. Growing up wasn't a walk in the park, but her determination and hope were like guiding stars that helped her navigate through life's challenges. Fast forward to a few years, now a grown and an independent woman, Maya crossed paths with a charming young man from a foreign land called David. They had met online and were madly in love with each other. They would talk for hours, laugh, chat, and send each other love messages. Maya felt so special because he treated her like a queen. They dated each other for a year before meeting each other face to face. He was a divorcee, which raised a few eyebrows for her. However, her family welcomed him with open arms. He shared his turmoil past relationship with her, explaining that he had to break free to save himself. Maya believed him wholeheartedly. In his eyes, Maya was his second chance from the universe, and she also believes she was that special someone he has been looking for. They got married in a quiet traditional wedding attended by close family and friends, and Maya and David settled down into their new life. David was a businessman who owned a few companies abroad, while Maya became a full-time housewife. Despite the distance between them, they did their best to make things work. Their union produced a son that brought them so much joy. A few years later, Maya and David decided to move to a very beautiful estate, and everything seemed perfect. The anticipation of moving into their new home, a spacious 4-bedroom detached duplex, filled their hearts with so much joy. The house, vacant for a year, stood in dire need of a thorough cleaning. Excitement lingered as they envisioned their son playing around the expansive compound. The carpenter, who had skillfully worked on the windows, recommended a young lady called Sarah. She owned a small cleaning company and was very good at the job. The prospect of a clean home at a moderate price seemed promising, and they eagerly scheduled an appointment for the next day. She was on time the next day. She was young, average height and attractive. But as soon as Maya saw her, her spirit immediately rejected the lady. There was just something about her that didn't sit right with Maya. Her husband, on the other hand, was happy to see her, and he quickly took her upstairs to show her around, while Maya occupied herself with the chores downstairs. Sarah and David finally came to an agreement on how much she would be paid to do the job. But Maya immediately rejected her proposal because to her, Sarah's price was too high. After a back and front argument between Maya and David reluctantly accepted Maya's plea and Sarah was dismissed. They opted for another cleaner who did a not too good job and they moved in. From that moment onward, their once happy home seemed to have lost its tranquility. Unknown to Maya, that seemingly mundane decision will set off a chain of events that will test the very foundations of her family. One fateful day, at around 8 a.m., David's phone started ringing, and it turned out to be the same cleaning lady they had rejected. She has been calling David's phone frequently, which was very odd to Maya. Surprised by all these calls, Maya confronted David. Maya asked David why Sarah kept calling him and he came up with all types of lies. He claimed Sarah wanted to find out if there are other job openings because the crippling economy was harming her cleaning business. Maya totally believed him. To her, her husband was simply a good man who loved helping people. 9 months later, Maya and David decided to move to another house. The services in their present estate was rapidly deteriorating, and they were finding it hard to cope. It's true what the elders say, Maya grumbled while packing. Not everything that glitters is gold. The water was very bad, and they had just few hours of power. Some days they had no electricity at all, and this became frequent, forcing them to move out. Months after settling into their new home, David was in town to visit his family, and everywhere was peaceful, until Maya saw Sarah's numerous missed calls again on David's phone at midnight. Suspicion swelled her mind, and she sneakily got David's password to check his phone. What she discovered shocked the very bones under her feet. It turned out David was having an affair with Sarah, and it has been going on for a while. The affair had begun innocently from the day she entered their home. While Maya toyed downstairs, their secret liaison blossomed from a professional facade to a twisted dance of deceit. Their connection morphed from a client boss to an unsettling bond of big brother to little sister, and finally spiraling into the clandestine realm of lovers. Behind her back, David fueled Sarah's well with financial support. He sponsored her lifestyle and even providing her a haven in a rented apartment. The happiness that once graced their home was replaced by an icy chill. He callously cut out his family's allowances to satisfy his mistress's needs. The neglect towards his own family became a bitter pill to swallow. While David lavished Sarah with support, Maya and her son bore the weight of suffering and neglect. The revelation of this shocked betrayal left Maya standing amidst the debris of shattered dreams. She questioned the very foundations of their union. Amidst the turbulence of their marriage, the driver whom she had hired for David a few years back became David's close confidant. He knew of David's affairs but kept it away from Maya. To ensure the driver's loyalty and silence, David took drastic measures by providing him with a 3-bedroom apartment. He also went as far as contributing to the driver's car business by buying him a new brand car. Meanwhile, his family struggled in the shadows, their needs neglected, while David, the mistress and the driver reveled in extravagance. The constant battles between David and Maya became the haunting soundtracks of their lives. Blames and accusations were hurled her way, echoing the pain she endured. The desire to break free grew, but the conservative counsel of Maya's family advocated patience, prayers, and the pursuit of reconciliation. Driven to the brink, Maya turned to her faith, seeking solace and answers in prayers. Many months of tears and pleas echoed in the silence, a desperate plea for a sign that her cries were heard, and that divine intervention will liberate her husband from the shackles of his transgressions. Despite the discouraging events, she didn't give up. She continued her daily prayers and plea to God, asking Him for help to save her home. The stress and maltreatment tore Maya apart. Her once thick black hair started turning grey, and her once beautiful physique started fading away due to stress. She was aging rapidly overnight, but despite her husband becoming more distant and hostile, she kept praying and never gave up. A year later, fate dealt an unexpected blow. David became very ill, thrusting Maya into the role of a caregiver. He had become seriously ill, and in that moment where he was at the crossroad between life and death, a profound transformation occurred. In his pain, he moaned, asking God to give him more time to put his family in order. It was like a rude awakening. He acted as someone who just realized himself. He kept saying to himself, "What have I done? What's happening to me?" Maya was turned into shock. A few weeks later, he became better, and the man who had been callous, bitter, hostile and unfaithful emerged from the shadows. He once again embodied the loving and caring partner Maya used to know. Things also took a dramatic turn for him as God dealt with him in an unexpected way. The driver who was once his close confidant turned out to be an architect of deceit. The driver betrayed David's trust by secretly selling the car he had contributed to while he was on his sick bed. The proceeds were never reinvested, but instead, the driver used it to journey abroad in search of greener pastures. Unraveling this web of deceit revealed an even darker truth. The cleaning lady and the driver were not just acquaintances, they were collaborators in deception. Apparently, the driver had seen her as a puppet he could use to extort money from David, and so had encouraged her to continue her seduction games to gain David's trust. David's world crumbled as he discovered the extent of their deceit. Broken and humbled, he came to Maya in tears, begging for forgiveness. He confessed the main reason why he had an affair. It turned out the driver, exploiting a misunderstanding and the long distance between them, had spun up tales of Maya having an affair and also planning to leave the country with their son. This fed David's insecurities, pushing him towards a path of promiscuity for his own gain. The driver had encouraged David to have more affairs to make Maya jealous so she would be a quiet and submissive wife. To him, Maya was too bossy. As the layers of deception peeled away, David vowed to rectify his wrongs. He embarked on a challenging journey to rebuild what was shattered. The betrayal had wounded them deeply, but the commitment to healing and the pursuit of a renewed love became their driving force. Uncertainties about the future lingered. Trust once shattered became a fragile ember. The question of whether Maya will fully trust David again remained unanswered, as the unpredictability of human nature cast a shadow on their path to reconciliation. This dark journey taught Maya a profound lesson. She saw the heart of man for what it truly was, and also the futility of fighting against people, for some adversities are not ordinary. They are simply battles against unseen forces. But in these moments, she discovered the immense power of prayer, a divine force that confronts the dark spirits influencing the hearts of those we love. God heard her cries, intervened in her battles, and delivered her home from the grips of darkness. Today, as they earnestly strive towards rebuilding their broken home, the echoes of this transformative experience resonate in the corridors of their lives. A newfound normalcy has embraced their lives. The scars remain, but the Master of all creation, in His infinite mercy, has graced them with healing. This tale is a testament to the resilience of love, the efficacy of prayer, and the profound truth that sometimes surrendering to a higher power is the key to unlocking the doors of redemption. May this story inspire hope for those navigating the complexities of their relationship and serve as a reminder that even in the darkest times, the Creator fights for us, leading us from brokenness to healing. All we need to do is to trust Him. Thank you all for being part of this storytelling journey. I hope this narrative resonated with you guys. And if it did, don't forget to show some love by liking, sharing, and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Also hit that notification bell so you will always be notified when we unveil new and captivating stories. Don't forget your thoughts matter to us, so kindly drop a comment below and let's create a space for shared experiences. Until next time, take care and stay blessed. One love, besties.